All right, let's look at the balance of payments. All right, this was the worksheet that was handed in on St. Patty's Day. Top of the morning to you. Okay, so we're going to go through this. There were a bunch of questions. I went through a lot of them and noticed that guys are making some mistakes. Totally okay. All right, we'll figure this all out for the AP test.
Hans, Bobby.
Okay, so we're going to look at transaction 1, which is England sells 50,000 printed t-shirts to Jamaica for $500. All right, so that is $500 coming in. It's an export of goods and services. Okay, so we'll put the 500 here. I'm not putting the dollar sign or anything like that, just for time's sake, okay? Then we come to transaction 2, which is a farmer from Jamaica sells 1 ton of grain to a grocery store chain in England for $250. We have grain coming in, $250 going out. The grain's coming in, we have $250 of imports. We're going to put that down as a negative 250 because we're going to subtract it from the exports. So as of right now, we're at a surplus in the current accounts. Okay. Transaction 3, the BBC sells movie posters to Jamaican Film Corp for $500. Okay. Posters are going to Jamaica. Money is coming into England, which means we're going to have another $500 coming into England as exports of goods. All right. If I click on the slide here, we have a plus 500 of exports. Okay. Transaction 4, Jamaica Manufacturing sells 5 assembly line robots to Aston Martin Motors for $300. All right, so the robots are coming from Jamaica and they're going into England, right? Which means, where's my clicker? We have a $300 in imports. Okay, so I'll put a negative 300. All right, so if I had to look at this really quick, it looks like in terms of goods, we have a balance of 450. All right, 250, 500 of exports goods minus 250 is 250. 500 minus 300 is 2. 250 plus 2 is 450. Okay, that's a positive, right? 450. All right, next transaction. Queen Elizabeth sends $50 to her cousin Mildred in Jamaica. So let's just think about this. She's sending. So the money is leaving England. Okay. It's a net transfer. The money is being transferred from England to Jamaica. Okay. So we have a net $50 for net transfers. I understand this one would be confusing. Just think about it for a second. There's no goods. There's no services. There's nothing being bought. It's just money leaving. So it's a transfer. It's like a transfer payment. Nothing's being produced for it. Okay. Then we go to Jamaica Programming sells software designed to London Graphics for $20. Okay, that is a service, and we're importing that service. Okay, that would be $20, but because it's leaving, it's going to be a negative $20. $20 for service. Okay. Again, not using any of the dollar signs. You could also put in parentheses the number of the transaction so you can actually keep track if that's helpful to you. All right, London Graphic designs new uniforms for the Jamaican cricket team for $40. So London Graphics doing design is for Jamaica. The graphics is in London, hence London Graphics. Okay, so they're doing design. The money's coming into them. So that would be an import of services. Excuse me, an export of services. Right, so that would be a plus 40. Okay, and then we will go to the next transaction. All right, plus 40 of export of services. Okay, now we have Winslow receives $30 for his time as a designer for Lloyd Taylor Designs in England. Okay, so he's designing for Lloyd Taylor, who's in England. Okay, and he's receiving $30 for his time. All right, again, I know this might be confusing, this problem, but we're doing balance of trade, so we're looking at things going in and out of a country. If this transaction was in the country, it would have nothing to do with our balance of payments. Okay, so we have a negative 30 for the import of services. Okay, because the money's leaving, so it's a negative 30. Alrighty. Okay. Then we have Jim White receives $50 for his business consultation with Last Chance Incorporated in Jamaica. Question came up a lot on the sheets. Is Jim White English? Is he from England? What's the concept? Well, if he's receiving $50 for a consultation with Last Chance in Jamaica, then he must be in England. Because again, we're doing balance of payment transfers. All right, so he's getting the $50. All right, that money is coming in. So that's an export of services. Whoa, didn't want that to happen. All right, so we get the Jim White, which is export of services. Okay, so in services, we'll have a plus 50. Put that in. All right, and we have that. All right, now we're going into transaction 10, which is Jerk Chicken Corporation sends Sharon Craig $40 in dividends on her Jamaica Jerk Chicken Corporation. Jamaica Jerk Chicken is in Jamaica. They're sending $40 to Sharon Craig, who must be in England, since we're doing the England and the Jamaican balance of trade payments. Okay, so that $40 would be money coming in, net investment income. Okay, so it's a plus 40. All right. All right, so if we do the services for a second, okay, I got 40 in export, 20 in import, so I have a plus 20. And then I have a 50 and a 30, I have another plus 20. Okay, so that gives me a 40, right? So I have $40 in net services, which means my goods and services are giving me $490. But I have a negative 50 here, plus 40, this is a negative 10. So this is a plus 490. Okay, you get the 450 and the 400. Just to make it a little clearer. Okay, there's your 400. If you want, let's not do that. All right, so I take the plus 40, the plus 90, then I take these two. All right, and I subtract, and I end up with a 480. Okay, this time I will use the dollar sign. All right, whoops, typo. And we'll do that, and we have 480. All right, so the balance of current accounts is 480. You would know this doing it, so you wouldn't be able to finish it this way. I'm doing it because I know that's the end of the current account. But for you guys, you would work everything through and then do all your adding and subtracting. All right, so the next thing we do, we have Ricky Gervais purchases stock in Jamaica Publishing. So he's buying something in Jamaica. Okay? So we have $2,200 leaving the country. So I'm going to go negative 2,200. Right? Whoops. Okay? So that's capital going abroad on this one. All right? He's British. They're Jamaican. Jeff Aaron sells bonds from Jamaica Cocoa Bread. So Jamaica Cocoa Bread means it's in Jamaica. Bobby Smith is in Britain, and he's buying it. Okay, which means I'm going to have money leaving again, which is another negative 1,600. Okay. Next, we have Peter O'Toole sells the East End Putt-Putt Golf Course for $1,800 to Derek Livingston. I guess I assumed you guys knew the East End was in England. Okay, so that's $1,800 coming in. Okay, So we have a plus 18 coming in for that transaction. All right. Bob Marley purchased Soho Waterworks Play Park for $1,500 for Eric Clapton. Come on, if you don't know Bob Marley is Jamaican, then we have a serious problem here. And my next lesson will have to be on classic music. All right. Maybe we can make that an assignment. Okay, so now I have 1,500 coming in. All right. Now, if I take the balance on this, all right, I like just to do canceling each other out. If I take the 2,200 and the 1,800, I have a negative 400. Okay, then I have the negative 1,600 minus the 1,500 gives me a negative 100. So the 400 and the 100 gives me a negative 500. Okay, so I have a positive 480 and I have a negative 500, which means I'm going to have to add $20 of money coming in. Okay, so we need a plus 20. All right. Now, if you were to do this with Jamaica on the other page, the balance of the current accounts would be a negative 480 for them, but their balance on their financial account would be a plus 500, which means they'd have to take out $20 from their economy, and they would have a negative 20 there, so that their total balance of payment is, as always, 0. Okay? And that's pretty much the sheet. Okay, I know there's a couple of them that were confusing. Hopefully this clears it up for you. I will definitely be giving you another problem. Probably not as complex as this or as much work. Probably just more asking you about deficits and surpluses in current accounts and the financial accounts. All right, hope everybody is doing well, and I will talk to you by video soon. I probably will be doing a practice exam sometime in the near future.